because, you know, I was a Christian for a lot of years. And so I spent a lot of years studying the Bible and going to church, and my childhood's the same as yours. I mean, we went to church, they taught us a story and we memorized verses. We never talked about what it meant. So I think it's just the nature of, I mean, I don't think they were doing anything different than the Christians are doing. You know what I mean? But then as I got older, we did start doing things where we would interpret, that's the problem, but we would pick and choose verses we liked and fit them into our lifestyle. And I think that's where the big contrast is for me, is that's not what we did. We weren't picking ayah from the Quran and saying, this is how my life, this is now I have justification for the way I live. Right. No, it was, here's what the Quran says. This is the truth. Now you match your life to the Quran. It's not the other way around. And as a Christian studying the Bible, it's completely the other way around. Like, this is the lifestyle. You can find a verse to support that. No problem.
Like, you know, we used to learn the Quran. So I lived in Palestine for 7 years, and then we would learn Quran, and it was, the teacher would tell us a story. He or she would tell us to memorize however many ayahs, and then we'd come in a week later, and then we would, you know, just say what we remembered and then get graded on that, and that was it. Right. There was no discussion in terms of application to life. There's no discussion that here's the lesson that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to take away. There was none of that. And I remember thinking to myself, maybe I just don't remember. Maybe it did happen and I don't remember that. But then I talked to my siblings and I talked to people that I went to school with overseas, and they're like, no, I mean, it didn't happen. What you recall is what happened. They would tell you the story. You would memorize however many ayahs, go get tested on it the next week, and then that was it. And there was no other reference to it. So this was the first time, like in the Quran, where I felt like, this is going to sound terrible as a Muslim who's 38 years old, where I could relate to it. Oh, where it was applicable to me, where I could be like, oh, maybe the things I'm chasing in my life aren't maybe my focus needs to, maybe I need to pivot in some way. But all these things that I am chasing after and causing myself all this stress really isn't what I'm looking for. And looking back, I'm like, gosh, all those years of my life that I was chasing that next degree, or chasing the bigger house, or chasing the bigger paycheck, or chasing at the end of the day, that's not going to get me closer to Allah. Like, I'm not saying that those things aren't important, because they are. Right. But I feel like this surah took everything I've been doing in my life and literally laid it out on that perfect last slide that Sister Nadia shared about, like, and it was the distractions in life, the declarations in life. Yeah. Compared to the, like, our actions. And it was just such, that one slide was like, whoa, it just really brought it to me. I don't know. It made me feel, but at the same, I didn't feel like this, like I'm a bad Muslim because I was chasing some of these things. I felt like I can pivot my life and still have these things and want these things, but then know that Allah is the one that is bestowing me with it, versus the harder I work, the more I'm going to get, or really at the end of the day, it's Allah who has blessed me and my family with the things that I choose to chase after. And so I think reminding myself to give Allah credit for everything that happens in my life.